Welcome to the Influence and Inspire podcast, episode 22. And I'm delighted to say my guest today is Khalia Ismain, founder of Jamii.
Hi.
How are you doing, Khalia?
I'm very good, thank you.
Had a good day today?
Yes, I've had a very good day. So I'm in a very good mood.
Good. Glad to hear it. That makes for a good interview.
That's wonderful.
All right, so Khalia, Jamii is a discount card for black businesses, and you launched in August 2016?
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. I suppose, first of all, I should ask is, how did you come up with the name Jamii, first of all?
So basically, I lived in Kenya for a short period of time. So I lived in Kenya from September 2015 to December 2015. And I was there for kind of like a project, which was based on working with entrepreneurs in a local community in a small town called Kericho, and basically helping them move from the kind of the informal sector, you know, where they kind of just took whatever cash they had and bought some stock and just, you know, tried their best with it, did whatever, to the formal sector where they were kind of more thinking about, okay, so let me keep my business expenses, my personal expenses separate. How can I really be competitive? How can I think about what I'm doing more like a business rather than me just like having a go at it? And it was a really formative experience for me because it was the first time I'd really been involved in anything entrepreneurial or anything to do with enterprise. But the reason why I was attracted to the project in the first place is because I'm a real believer in using business to drive social change and to create a positive impact. So when I came home, I'd already had this idea bubbling around in my head about, you know, discount card for Black British businesses. And when I was thinking about the name and kind of what I was going to call it and how I was kind of going to talk about it, I kind of went back to the Swahili language because my experience in Kenya had made such an impact on me. And so I had some friends in Kenya and I was like, look, this is what I'm doing. Are there any words that would really kind of capture this? And so one of my friends was like, well, the word Jamii means community in Swahili. And so community or family, I think in kind of Queen's English Swahili, so like in Tanzania, they see it as more like family. And so I was like, well, that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. Yeah. And so that's how the name came about. Long story.
Okay, no, that sounds good. And you mentioned that you already were thinking about having a discount card for black businesses, but why did you come up with that idea?
So essentially in the summer of 2015, there was a lot going on. So there was a lot in terms of the Black Lives Matter movement. There was an awful lot in terms of newspaper coverage. Like there were stories coming out all the time about things happening. It was mainly in Black America, but things happening within the global Black community. And I just thought, these are the same headlines that we've been seeing since the 50s, the 60s. You know, you think about Rodney King, you think about all this stuff, it just keeps coming up. And there is, although there was there still is like a resurgence in like the natural hair movement, and people are really talking about like being proud of their roots and really going back to Black pride, I suppose. I was just thinking about this thing of like, okay, but this happened in the 70s. This happened in the 80s where people were, you know, ditching their relaxers and doing everything. So why are we still in this position? And what I really saw was that it was business. So even though the community's always been quite politically active, and we've always had kind of like small shops, we don't have any big brands. We don't have any kind of big companies who can really put their weight behind us in terms of resources, in terms of, you know, big political power. And that was what I saw as the missing link. So originally I was thinking about creating some sort of directory. I was like, you know, we have to make it easier to find businesses and stuff. And then it was through a conversation with my boyfriend where he was like, well, why don't you make it like a discount card? Because then it encourages people to try these businesses as well. And I was like, you know what, that's a really good idea. Part of the reason why it is difficult for these businesses, they don't necessarily, because they, you know, it's like chicken and egg. They don't have the brand name to start off with. And sometimes you just need to encourage people to take a chance on any new product.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of where the concept came from.
No, it sounds good, and that's an excellent idea. I hope
Thank
you
you.
thanked your boyfriend for it.
Yes, I did. That's a great idea. Thanks. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, how many businesses do you currently have signed up to Jamii?
So we're currently partnered with about 40 businesses
Okay.
across different industries. So food, kind of art and home,
Mm-hmm.
skincare and beauty, and hair.
Yeah.
And fashion, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's about 40 businesses so far.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how do you go about identifying potential businesses who might be a good fit for your card?
So I'm really, I use social media quite a lot for this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, now we've kind of grown to the extent where businesses also reach out to us. But
Yep.
what I'm really keen on is like brand,
Mm-hmm.
and what businesses are about. So,
Yeah.
you know, you might sell hair products, but like, what's your why? Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like, a lot of our partners started their businesses because they saw a need, you know, their daughter needed a certain skincare product, or they wanted to see their own fashion, their own culture represented in fashion and stuff like this. And so, in terms of like identifying businesses, that's really important to me because there is that stereotype associated with Black owned businesses that they are unprofessional, the quality's poor, the customer service is rubbish. And for me, like I don't want any business on Jamii to be associated with that. We're about great businesses. We're about high quality businesses. Like, it's a guarantee that you will get what you ask for at the time you ask for it. It's not. It's none of that. You know, we don't have this, whatever. It's none of that. And so the first kind of criteria for me is, okay, does this entrepreneur have passion? Do they really believe in what they're doing? Because then they're going to ensure that it's of a high quality, because for them it's not just about the bottom line and just doing whatever they can to make loads of money, which obviously is the cornerstone of business, but having the passion means that product and that service will be high quality as well. So I use social media a lot. Like, you can see, like, from kind of customer responses and people tag their you know when you get something really nice and you tag the brand in it and stuff, you can see that interaction and whether people are already happy with that business. So
okay. And I think you've got Soap Connoisseur as one of your businesses, am I right?
Yes, I do.
I interviewed her a few episodes ago, actually.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, if you're interested, go and listen to that one again.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, that's good, and it's interesting the way you try to identify businesses, and you say it's through social media. Do you ever try before you buy? Kind of. Do you ever try what?
Sometimes, yeah. So at the beginning, I definitely because I've kind of stumbled my way through this. Like, it's my first project I've ever set up, and so I've tried a lot of different ways. So in terms of like getting business interested at the beginning, when I was like a nothing, I would always go and visit the business before and see like what I thought, and like go on their website and stuff, and get a sense of kind of what they're all about. I always try after they've signed up as well, like within the first couple of weeks, just to get a sense of like what the customer would kind of experience. So it's a bit of both. I'm still kind of working out like what the most efficient way is of kind of like making sure we've got that high quality. But I've got a lot of friends who are members on Jamii as well, and so they always give me their feedback like ASAP.
Okay. And I suppose first of all, if there are any Black businesses that are interested in working with you and providing Jamii discounts, how do they go about doing that?
They can just send me an email at Khalia@lovejamii.com, and that's Khalia spelled Khalia at lovejamii.com. So really simple, and they can just say, look, this is my business. This is what I'm about. And usually I like to speak to every entrepreneur that we're partnered with, every business. I've spoken to that entrepreneur on the phone.
Okay.
I've explained what I'm about and like what Jamii is hoping to achieve. And I speak to them as well. Like, it's really important to me that I build some sort of relationship with each entrepreneur. Because it's nice for me to know like what they're like. It's because I can then help signpost later on like So if they're saying, yeah, this is what I'm doing, I'm having a couple of difficulties, like working with, for instance, retailers or something, and then I'm speaking to another entrepreneur who's partnered with Jamii, who like is having a whale of a time with retailers. I'm like, wait, hold on, can you have a conversation with this person or such and such? So, which I think is also a really important component of Jamii.
That's a very powerful tool, and linking up different businesses to help each other, I think, is an excellent way of doing it as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and if I want a Jamii discount card, how do I go about getting one of those?
It's very simple. You can go onto our website, which is lovejamii.com.
Yeah.
And then there's a little tab at the top that says get your card, and you can just click that and you get it, and you get discounts for a whole year.
And I suppose I should ask you about the costs of the discount card.
Yes.
What are the costs?
So for a business, it's completely free.
Yeah.
And I do that because at the end of the day, I'm about supporting Black British businesses, and I just wanted to make it as frictionless as possible. So it's free for businesses to sign up, and the deal is if I make it free, you give customers a higher discount than if they were having to pay for it, because then it just encourages the customer. Like, you know, you see a 20% discount as opposed to a 10, you're like, yeah, well, actually that's less of a risk. I will get that, actually.
Exactly.
And so for customers, it's $29.99 for a whole year. So for that whole year, you get access to every single discount that we have available, and we're always adding new partners all the time.
Yeah, the $29.99. Can't argue with that for a whole year.
For a whole year, 12 months.
No, that's an excellent price. And what are your future plans for Jamii?
So what I really want to do is expand out some of the industries that we're working in. So I started with the 5 that I mentioned earlier, primarily because I thought, let me make this manageable. Let me build out those and see how I go with that, and then take it from there. So that's kind of like my immediate goal is kind of working on like building out events, and seeing if we can get some events partners on. I know that there's a lot going on at the moment in like literature, in like kind of more like the cultural stuff. So, you know, events, literature, stuff like that. So that's my next thing with Jamii, and also kind of just building valuable content for the businesses. So not just like linking people up, but also if there's more ways that I can work with the businesses to kind of help them and connect them and you know, create resources or anything like that. These are some other things that I'm looking into.
Okay, so I assume you probably got a few startup businesses with Jamii discounts at the moment. So is that about helping them get a bit more experience within the field of what they're working in? I mean, do you provide some advice on how to better run their businesses as well in some cases?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't go around calling myself a consultant by any stretch of the imagination, but I have been very fortunate in that I've been surrounded by some very successful businesses and very successful entrepreneurs, and working on some amazing startup at the moment. And as much as possible, if I learn things, if I meet people, I do try to connect.
Yes.
And just because I think like I'm very fortunate, and as much I really want to share my knowledge or my contacts or whatever with people as much as I can. And so just the only thing at the moment is I am a little bit busy. So sometimes like it does take me a little while to get back to people on email. So what I'm thinking is, okay, how can I streamline this? So not everything is solely dependent on me. Like if I make a new page on the website, or I, you know, sit down and write all my thoughts down in some blog posts, or you know, that kind of thing.
Okay. So you say you're busy. So I understand that you spend time working on Baygo as well.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Which is a Caribbean quick serve restaurant.
Yes. So we opened in October in Bank. And so, it's exactly what you just said. It is a Caribbean grab and go. And the way I describe it to people is, you think of Itsu, you think of Leon, you think of Pret. Think of that, but think of a Caribbean version that serves curry goat and plantain. And so, yes, I do that. I'm part of the founding team for that, and that is amazing. And it's doing really well at the moment. And we have big plans. So we opened the first one in October. The aim is to open another one very soon.
Yeah.
Definitely by the end of the year. If all goes well, we'd have 3 within a year's time. And we want to kind of expand it out. Like, we're really passionate about, so I'm mixed, but of Caribbean. My dad is Caribbean, and I'm really, really passionate about kind of bringing a really positive, big Caribbean brand to London, to the UK, to the world. And we're kind of doing that through food. And so we've got this thing that we call New Generation Caribbean, which is basically about delivering this kind of pioneering, aspirational, innovative side of life, which exists in the islands, but sometimes people don't always pick up on it over here, and they often think about Bob Marley and rum shacks and stuff when they think of the Caribbean, which is one side of life, but it's not the whole side of life. And so we're really trying to bring something new to the mix. So if anyone who's listening works in the city, definitely come down, hit me up, and come and try the food. It's amazing. Yeah. And even if I do say so myself.
And I'm intrigued about how, well, in fact, I might have to pop down myself at some point. I'm intrigued at how the image of it, and seeing these little, so what do you have, little portions of curry goat and rice in little boxes that you can just grab and go? Is that how it works, or is it still served from the pot?
No, so it is with boxes. So it's we've got these little island one pots. So they kind of come in these blue containers, these like beautiful Baygo blue containers. And so, for instance, with a curry goat one pot, you get rice and peas, you get a bit of plantain, you get some slaw, some callaloo. So it's nice. It's a good hearty meal, but not too. But the point is, it's for the city, so it's not too hearty. Not too heavy. Because obviously, Caribbean meals, we love to pile the plate with lots of stuff. Yeah. But for the city, obviously, like, you have lunch at 1, you have big meetings at 2. That's not really going to work. So we've kind of translated it for the city, so you can kind of have beautiful, healthy lunch. And then kind of go back to work just feeling very good about yourself and not feeling very heavy.
Okay. And you've based your first restaurant in Bank. Why Bank? Why the choice?
Basically because we're very ambitious. We're very aspirational, and we wanted to create a brand that reflected that level of ambition. And so we wanted to put a Caribbean brand in a very high profile spot in Bank, in what is probably the most ambitious, cutthroat part of London or the United Kingdom. Because as far as we're concerned, we can make it work here, we can make it work anywhere. And so that's kind of why we did that.
So Baygo is a quick serve restaurant, as we've said before. So that's not in keeping with a lot of Caribbean restaurants, because we would say that most Caribbean restaurants, the service is quite slow. So how
yes.
So what kind of staff do you have in there then? It's I'll ask what kind of staff. So do you have all West Indian staff in there serving food?
We have all staff. All staff. We have West Indian staff, we have staff from Africa, we have staff from Europe, we have staff from England. We have a staff because as far as we're concerned, the Caribbean is a reflection of all cultures, and is really important to us, and that we had the Caribbean culture well represented in there. But also, we needed good people who kind of embody this Caribbean spirit, and this Caribbean spirit of openness, of being welcoming, of kind of embracing everyone, and really just kind of getting the job done. And so we have staff from everywhere, and I'm very proud and very happy to be able to say that, because you go to Trinidad and you see people of all creeds, all races, same with Jamaica and stuff. And so it was important to us, we had a team that really represented what you will find in the Caribbean. yeah.
Okay. And you mentioned expanding to other branches. What areas are you looking to put those other branches in?
So,
Or is it too early to say?
no. So I think what we're thinking for the second branch, I think we'll probably stay in the city for the second one, just to kind of be able to leverage off of the inroads we've already made. Not quite sure where yet. I mean, it's a little bit early days. We're just kind of we want to stabilize this one, and then we can move on to kind of looking to the next.
Yeah.
But maybe like up near Bishopsgate, which is like Liverpool Street. Or St Paul's or something like that. And then the third one, when it comes, I would love to have one in Soho.
Okay.
Really, really would love to have one, a nice big one. And it can be like a cultural embassy for the Caribbean. And I have this dream of putting on events, having soca aerobics on a Saturday morning, having like Caribbean film festivals in there, and art exhibitions and all stuff. That's my dream for a big Soho flagship Baygo store. But no, it's a little bit too early to say that this is exactly what we're going to do, because it all depends on locations and the timings and stuff like that.
It's good, but it's good to have the dream, and it's good that you're trying to push it forward and working on it. Sounds really good.
Thank you.
So just going back to the business point of view, so what would you say to someone who has a good idea for a business but is too frightened to really take that first step?
I would say talk to people, reach out to as many people as you can in the industries that they want to go into, people who have done it before, people who are doing, people who inspire them. Just reach out to as many people as possible. So it's really important that to build your networks from the get-go, because it kind of, you'll miss out a lot of mistakes kind of by speaking to people who already have done certain things to get a few hacks and stuff like that. But also, if nothing else, like, the fear is completely natural, and so speaking to people and building a community of people who also have that fear but have pushed through it is super important. And it just really helps to encourage you and to motivate you. So that would be my advice.
Okay. And what made you become an entrepreneur?
That's a great question. I don't really have an answer to that. It was never like the path that I thought I was gonna choose. I suppose I just wanted to see a change in the world, and I didn't see anyone else doing it. I suppose that's a bit unfair, but what I meant is that I kind of got to the point where I was like, well, if I want to, there's no point me just waiting for someone else to do these things when I feel like I can at least try and contribute to making a change. So I suppose that's why. I mean, it wasn't really a decision. I didn't really think to myself, I want to, own a business, and I want to do this and I want to do that. I kind of just fell into it, but it's been an amazing journey so far. I hope to keep it going. So I'm enjoying myself.
So do you think you'll just stay with Jamii and Baygo for now, or do you think have you got any other ideas on the horizon that you're thinking about?
Well, I always have ideas. I always have ideas. Oh, I'd love to do this and I'd love to do that. So, I mean, in the meantime, like, I'm very, very happy working on Jamii and Baygo, and they take up a lot of my time. But at the same time, you never know. You can't predict the future. If an opportunity arises, where I can jump in on something else as well, or who knows? I can't predict the future in that sense. But at the moment, I'm very happy with what I'm doing with Baygo and Jamii. I don't feel like I'm missing anything from my portfolio, so to speak.
Okay. And Khalia, if someone would like to contact you regarding Jamii, Baygo, or anything else, what's the best way in getting in contact with you?
Drop me an email at khalia@lovejamii.com. That is the best way.
You sure? Because a bit earlier you said that you're not that good at getting back on emails.
That is still the best way to get. It's because I often reply to emails in my head and forget.
All right. Okay.
That I have found it, but the email is always the best because it's very easy. I'm always on them, So I, like, even though I might think I've responded to it, I'll leave it as like unread or something, and then I will always get back to it. So it is the best way.
Okay.
Sometimes people message me on like Instagram, just completely like I'm not on it enough that I will kind of even register that someone's messaged me. So
Okay.
yeah, that
So
is the best way.
okay.
I'll always respond at the end.
That's fine. That's fine. So what I'll do is I'll put your social media links down as well, so people can really get hold of you or just see what you're doing and stuff like that.
Perfect.
But Carly, it's been inspirational speaking to you today, and the ideas that you've come up with, they're unique and they're very, very inspiring, and I hope all goes well. And
thank you very much.
And I will have to check in if I'm ever in bank, which I'm not usually these days. But if I'm ever in bank, I will try and look up Baygo. Whereabouts in bank is it actually?
Do you know the walkie-talkie building? You know where the Sky Garden is?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
So it's just behind there. So the closest station to us is Monument. It's like a 30-second walk from Monument Station.
Okay.
On a road called EASTCHEAP.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so that's where I am, and you should definitely, if you can come down, definitely do. Let me know, and it would be great to meet you properly.
Yes, definitely. Well, thanks for your time, Khalia, and good luck.
Thank you as well. Thank you very much.
And good luck in the future.
Thank you. Let's stay in touch.
Will do.